So thanks for joining us in this very cold room. Thanks for being Insight Lab number one, premier hearers to this presentation. I'm David Hutchinson. I'm National Director of a service line we call Paid Platform Merchandising. That service line covers retail media on retailers such as Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and of course, Amazon. And in case anyone's wondering, I do put this accent on just for Summit.
And I'm Cassandra Gucwa. I'm Associate Director SEO, just got recently promoted like yesterday, so it's new to me, but leading up our Amazon Organic Services. And in case anybody's wondering, I do just pretend to be pregnant during Client Summit.
So why Amazon for everyone? How to prevail, not just converts? Well, in this presentation, we hope to show you that Amazon has huge potential in terms of size opportunity. If you're not on there, your customers probably are. By creating content that a brand can create that speaks to the people in an honest and transparent way, as we heard, but also takes people away from what is potentially a very cluttered marketplace. And by also showing you in this presentation that you don't have to sell on Amazon to be involved in a conversation on Amazon, we show you hopefully that how you can speak to a consumer at different points in their journey. And that journey isn't linear. I wish it was. It would make my reports a lot simpler in life. But we know that people go from a Facebook to a YouTube, etc. And they certainly go from the likes of Google to Amazon to check out great pricing, to check out reviews, questions and answers. In fact, a recent survey that we did a recent study we did in Q4 of last year showed that for one particular brand, 26% of people that clicked on a paid search ad and went through to an owned and operated site eventually, within a 14-day window, went to Amazon to look at that same product, even though they weren't signposted to do so. So we know that people are going onto Amazon whether we like it or not. Clearly, Jeremy talked about Amazon in his opening presentation yesterday. So we know it's a hot topic, but how many people are actually on Amazon? We thought we'd hit you with this stat. This is an official Amazon stat and says 80% of US households have Amazon Prime. That's huge. Let's see a show of hands. How many people buy on Amazon? Wow, that's more than 80%, and I'm not great at math. So it's not just buying. If you think about it, Amazon isn't just a media, it isn't just a marketplace. As a Prime user, I will watch videos on a Friday. I'm not cool enough to stream on Twitch, but I could do so if I wanted to. I can upload my photos to Amazon's cloud. I could shop in Whole Foods. They really are that media property and not just a marketplace. So what are we going to cover today? Are we going to cover all of that? Probably not, because we'd take up all the other Insight Labs' time. So instead, we're going to focus on these four elements. Amazon DSP, or as we know it in traditional digital marketing, if that makes sense, is tied to display. Amazon Search, there are paid opportunities as well as earned opportunities.
And Amazon Brand Store, which has a user experience opportunity, as well as consumer content, which is product content, which is typically owned and worked on by SEO or user experience. So the best way to take you through those four main elements is to really show you in the eyes of a consumer. So for the rest of the presentation, we're going to walk through a week in the life of Tara Jones. Each day, we're going to focus on one of those four areas, and we're going to show you where the opportunities are as a brand. So this is Tara Jones. She's 29, always wanted to own her own business. The way her brand loyalty is gained is through conducting her own research instead of just watching TV. She's also David's cousin.
Okay. She wasn't my cousin yesterday, so in a age of transparency and honesty, thank you for that, Cassandra. So my cousin, Tara. On Monday, she's obviously got this degree that she wants to put to good use. And inspired, and on a Monday, she sets to start to put her business together. She goes onto Amazon and searches for Start Your Own Business. She's greeted with a sponsored brand ad, that carousel of 3 SKUs, or ASINs as they're called in the Amazon language. And underneath there is a sponsored product showing a best-selling, very good book that looks perfect for what she wants. She clicks on that link and goes straight through to the product detail page. On that product detail page, at the bottom, she sees an ad by Bank of America. That ad is for a potential small business loan. She can click through from that ad to an external site. That's right, you don't have to have all your adverts going through to a destination on Amazon. You can plug into the rich shopper graph and send traffic away from Amazon. And even if you think you've got a competing product that's not going to work, it's worth having a conversation with us, because it really is dealt on a case-by-case basis, and there is some very creative ways of executing on that. So how did Bank of America know that Tara was going to be on that page? Well, they didn't mass broadcast. They obviously used planning. And these 5 tools are available out of Amazon, and we're going to concentrate on the top 3. The first one was the audience planning tool. That allowed them to confirm the size of opportunity, the size of audience that was on Amazon. And then the audience insights tool allowed them to segment and target. So, segmentation on Amazon is pretty robust. So you can target by geo, by if someone's a small business owner, you can target their interests and lifestyles, gender, demographics, all the usual things that you would expect to do. And finally, the other one that they used pre-campaign was the audience overlap report. And that basically shows you, is there another cohort that potentially we could buy that reaches that same audience, but maybe at a more cost-effective rate. So still on Monday. Monday's always that long day, right, in the week. Still on Monday, Tara has got the Start Your Own Business book. Now she wants to upgrade her hardware, and she sees a great product by Microsoft and Intel. Shout out to Microsoft and Intel. Fantastic reviews, 185, 4.5-star reviews. But as you can, well, you probably can't see those in the back of the room, it's $791. That's not an impulse buy. So even though it's a great product, she's going to take her time and do a little bit more research. So she stores that in her head to come back to at a later date.
So Tuesday comes around and she wants to look at other brands, not just Microsoft. So she searches for 2-in-1 laptop for business. She looks at the first 4 listings within Amazon search. A Dell powered by Intel speaks to her, so she clicks on that one. That is actually very common, as 20% of the clicks do happen within the first 4 listings within Amazon search. After she clicks in through the page, she's brought to the product detail page, and she conducts more research on the page. For this, it's important for brands to treat the product description page with both a combined view of talking to the consumer, but also optimizing for search. And there are different areas of the page that you can optimize. That would include the title, bullets. For better content would be images, videos, manufacturer content, or product description. There's also on the back end search terms that you can't see as a consumer, but you can optimize for search. We have helped brands do this. We typically follow a specific framework. So we have done governance and education, where we help brands who are actually inputting the data to incorporate SEO best practices while they're doing it. We've also optimized, which starts with keyword research, and we've actually edited the data feeds themselves. Then we analyze the marketplace opportunities. We see where those content gaps are to optimize further, so you can be visible for more long tail keywords. And then we measure success, so we report on performance.
Great. So Tuesday's gone. That's brilliant. We're getting through this week. Wednesday arrives, and Tara is now looking for a new professional outfit. She searches skinny fit jeans and is again greeted by a sponsored brand ads and some sponsored product ads. And it's a little bit difficult to see at the back, but I'm going to call out this one because it's an Amazon Essentials ad for this search. Amazon Essentials men's skinny fit stretch jean. Now, what is wrong with that ad? She's a woman, yes. She hasn't given any indication of her gender. And Levi's recognized that. And rather than going for that quick sale and essentially trying to shoot fish in a barrel, they instead take one extra click to take Tara through to a brand store. This is really that opportunity to get away from that cluttered marketplace. You can curate and customize the stores how you want. In this case, Levi's have let Tara choose what gender she wants. Let Tara choose what waist style she wants, and of course what color. It's also the opportunity for a brand like Levi's to upsell and cross-sell, complete that professional look. So it's a great place to take people away when youngsters that can get so distracted and are less brand loyal than ever. This is the place to keep them in a confined environment.
Yes, youngsters. So Thursday comes around, she's inspired by what she sees in the brand store. She likes the Levi's black skinny fit jeans, but wants to look at other products again. So she clicks on an Amazon listing and she's brought to the product detail page for that. She wants to know, will these jeans stretch out over time? Are they comfortable? Will they last? So she finds answers in the Q&A section that you can see on the left. As brands, this is where you can respond to the consumer and control more of what is said about your product. In the middle, she looks at the manufacturer content. This is a great space that you can really optimize and create nice visuals to drive more conversions. You can control what is said about your product within that space. She also looked at the reviews. She saw a number of 3-star reviews that were saying it's a little bit too tight around the waist, or the product comes a little bit bigger than what she expected. So she's turned off from buying the Amazon product and buys the Levi's product instead. For brands, it's important to understand what your consumers are saying about your product online. You can actually analyze this by utilizing software. We would recommend Profitero. If Profitero's cost is too high, we would recommend Celix or even Helium 10. And we have helped brands do this by analyzing the data pulled from that software. We can see the 1 to 3-star reviews. We can categorize them and to specify what exactly the consumers are saying about your product. And we found that after doing this with brands, there are lessons learned across numerous different brands that are very common. One would be to better educate your audience. So if the jeans do come larger because they shrink in the wash, be honest, have that in your product description. The next one is to have accurate content. We have seen that though a product description will say 100% cotton, and the product they receive might be 99% cotton, yes, that 1% is going to cause consumers to post negative reviews just because it's 1% off. And engage with them. We have seen customers post 1 and 2-star reviews just because they post a question in the review, but it goes unanswered.
So Friday arrives thanks to the power of Amazon Prime. Tara's received her jeans already, and she's heading into a business meeting in town, her first new business meeting, and it goes really well. And just like all of us, or I'm sure a lot of us, we like to celebrate, and her friends were out in town, so she celebrated with them. She had a drink and maybe another drink, and yep, maybe one more drink, and what happens?
The good old days. On Saturday comes around, she feels a little under the weather, so she reaches for her cell phone on the side of the bed and searches for emergency. She scrolls through a variety of different products fairly quickly. Though on Amazon, you do need to put in specifications for your product. Us as humans, we need something a little bit more. We're more visual in nature. So let's take this example of the image of emergency. Raise your hand if you can see the number of pills in the bottle or the count. Okay, that's what I was expecting. Let's take the second image on the page. Raise your hand if you can now see the count. Okay. Cambridge University conducted an extensive research study and they started developing image guidelines. These guidelines are now becoming a global norm. We recommend for brands to implement these guidelines because they've known to drive conversions about 24%, which is pretty significant. You can easily go to the website, Cambridge University, download the template and implement it for your brand. On the same day, she is researching more about starting her own business, so she looks at different blogs. She pulls up one on Forbes to read about and educate herself about starting her own business, and sees a display ad. It's for the Microsoft Surface Pro. If you remember, she looked at that at the beginning, but now it's $100 off. So this was made possible by CPM investing, and as of recently, you can now do CPC retargeting via search. The fact that Tara had a great Friday, she sees this new deal and now pushes her to finally make the purchase of the laptop.
I wish my weeks were as productive as Tara's, but let's use Sunday as a day of rest and use it to recap what we just covered. So the first thing is Amazon is prolific, right? Whether you're a luxury brand, a B2B, your audience are on there. The second is if you think about that consumer first, you can cut through the clutter of the marketplace of Amazon and have a brand experience that lasts. And lastly, whether you sell on Amazon or not, plugging into that shopper data and having all that rich audience to tap into is something that is very possible. Whether it's external or internal destinations, there is a potential campaign to be had. It truly is Amazon for everyone. Thank you. Any questions? You can clap. It's fine. We take applause.